Hi, everybody, and welcome to Travel Time. You know, I didn't have a lot to talk about tonight, but there are some things I want to touch on. And I thought rather than just make one of my QuickTime videos, we haven't done one of those in a while. I just thought that I would see if anyone's out there on a Sunday night, maybe kicking back, waiting to see what is on YouTube and talk to you directly. I am going to make sure that I'm on. Hey, Ari, welcome. And it looks like we're good. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mark, please don't tell me you're boozing it up because you probably saw that picture. No, that was not really a bottle of booze. All right. Although I am doing my part to boost the economy during this crisis. They say you should only be out and about for necessary and essential reasons. So today I got out and about and went to my local liquor store, dropped about $100. I'm set. We all have to deal with these things our own way, right? So I don't get the wrong idea. We have to bring some humor into the world right now. People are way too serious. And, I have been kind of accused by people of not taking this virus outbreak seriously. And I do. I want you to believe me. I do take it seriously, but I do believe there's a difference between taking something seriously and overreacting. I am way too old to wig out and hole myself up inside and lock all the doors and pull all of the blinds shut and cower in a corner. I'm not going to live my life that way. Hey, Lisa, it's always been my feeling I'd rather die living than living as if I'm dead. So I'm going to take reasonable precautions, right? I'm going to wash my hands. I'm not going to walk up to some guy if he looks all sickly and he's sneezing all over the place. Um, I'm not going to do, unreasonable things. But on the other hand, hey, Tim, welcome. But on the other hand, I'm not going to stop living and panic. And I think just far too many people are panicking. So that's how um, that's how I'm treating this. If I need something, I'm going out. If I want to get some fresh air, I'm going to go for a walk. Um, I think there are other things we can do rather than bring our economy to a screeching halt. I think maybe we could look at restaurants and say, hey, maybe we can limit the number of people that come in. We're going to be talking about our checks in just a minute. Maybe have some restaurants, but maybe make fewer patrons in, separate the tables further. I think there are reasonable accommodations. I know a lot of you don't agree with me, and that's okay. One of my favorite uh, commenters said, I don't agree with you sometimes, Mark. And that's perfect. If you agreed with me all the time, you're not thinking. I don't want anyone to blindly follow anything I say. This is about discourse. Now, the question was just well, that's why, you say people don't know about distancing. We can create distance. You can create it by the way you establish your environment. So I have a feeling after all of this, people are going to be far more sensitive to it. I don't know how long it's going to last, but people are going to be far more sensitive to it. And, I think we're going to see a lot more awareness of hand cleaning. When I went out to the store today, one of the first things that I saw was the hand towel, they're back in the store. And I wiped down my handle and all that. I got to my car after I'd done shop. I was careful. I didn't touch things I didn't have to touch. I wasn't rubbing my eyes, that sort of thing. I wasn't coughing and sneezing on everything. When I came to the open things, like when I went to the store, there were, in the produce and all that. I wasn't walking up to stuff and breathing over the top of it, but I'm not going to not go shopping. So, boxing. I was just asked, for those of you, if I was a boxer in the day. Um, You'd be amazed at how well an old timer can handle himself. So, as a matter of fact, I was in the actual Boxer Rebellion. Let's go back 120 years now. So, what do I want to talk about? A couple of comments. I thought it would just be easier to go live to talk about these things than make a video where we can't have interaction. Now, one of my viewers, a lot of you probably see him comment, and he, Trader Benz is his name, and he said, well, he tried to fill out the unemployment. And a lot of people have been coming down on me about this unemployment thing. I'm telling you, I don't just come out here and pontificate if I don't have background information. I know how the unemployment system works. And I did get, I guess, a correction from someone saying, Mark, you don't understand how things work in California. You got to remember, this video that we make is not just going to California. I know sometimes people in California think that California is the world, and that's all there is. But, the guy in Tennessee doesn't care all that much about California. He cares about Tennessee. Tennessee is one of my favorite states, by the way. I just think, you've heard me say, if you watch my other channel, you've heard me say that a lot. Tennessee, I think, is a beautiful state. But I digress. So I have to speak in general terms. And one of the things I have been saying is unemployment, you cannot get unemployment if you're not employed. And it's really that simple because the money comes from the employers. They pay unemployment insurance, essentially. So when you have to apply for unemployment, that's where you get it. If you're not an employee, you can't get unemployment. However, that all changed 2 days ago. I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole again. You can watch yesterday's video. But we can now get unemployment. So I'll be reading all your comments. I see all these. I'm not ignoring you. I see my daughter, by the way, lives in Texas now. She just sent me a text with her. She finally got her Texas driver's license, so she's an official Texan. Now I know what you're saying. Mark has a daughter. Oh my God. Let's scribble it down. We found something out. So anyway, I got two things I want to talk about. Since now we can apply because of the new, $2.3 billion safety net or stimulus package that President Trump signed, we are now eligible on some level for unemployment. I don't know exactly what form it's going to take because every state doles out unemployment separately. The unemployment typically comes from unemployment that people, hey, Dustin, welcome. You missed it. I did the whole bag thing at the beginning. They get the money from the unemployment insurance that companies pay, and then they get some federal money, and federal money goes to administrating it. This is a little different now because they're getting federal money. Now, let's talk about, well, Dustin, here's the thing. I kind of disagree with you there because what they're saying is what's probably going to happen is going to be a two-tier type thing. You're going to apply traditionally, and then you're going to get denied, and then you're going to go to another step. But if you already start the ball rolling. But here's what happened. Since nobody really knows what they're doing, including probably the individual state governments, they are, what do you think was in the bag? I just spent $100 at the liquor store. I'm talking to Dustin, by the way. He's leaving some comments down below. So what happened was Trader Benz went and filled out his unemployment in the state of Michigan. He said, I got stuck when I got to the thing that asked for my EIN. Now, an EIN is your employment identification number. If you're not employed, you won't have an employer identification number. And that is the rub. You see, and that's why we have to be careful. Now, I'm sure this is all going to work out. It's all going to come out in the wash, but you might want to call your individual states and see how they're going to handle this. I imagine they're getting inundated with calls right now on how you can apply for this unemployment. So I'm going to try to keep you posted the best I can. If I can't, I guess you can check out Dustin's channel because he's already here chastising me. All right, let's go and read some of your comments. I have something else to say about this unemployment, and I think it's really, really significant. Okay. So we have a lot of hellos from Lisa, Rick, and Ari, and Rodney, and Sean. And how do we get our checks? We were just talking about that. Now, understand your stimulus checks are going to come automatically just by virtue of being a tax-paying American. I don't even know if you have to be a tax-paying American, but another reason why you should make sure that you fill out your census. I did my census last week. I poured myself a glass of iced tea, sat down, did my census. Probably took me online 10 minutes, so it's not bad. But that way they know who you are, where you are, and how much money to give each state. Okay, but let's go on. And Tim says it's fun driving around saying every car, driveway, work vehicle's great. Tim, I was out today. Did you see me? I was out driving. I was doing my Uber Eats today. It wasn't incredibly busy. It wasn't as busy as I thought it was. I'm going to talk about that as well. People don't know about distancing. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm not going to let, what other people do is none of my business. I'm going to look out for myself. I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to make sure that I don't, interfere with other folks. Let's see. Third world do not heat. Well, we're not in the third world here. We're in the good old US of A. Where did I get hit? Well, initially on the bottom. As soon, the doctor got me in that delivery room. Gave me a little smack of itch. Right on my behind. One thing I've been doing now is wiping down the shopping carts and cognitive thinking where my hands are touching. Isn't that interesting, Ari? But you're exactly right. We are now so much more cognizant of our hands, aren't we? When we touch our face, when we touch our nose, our mouth. I've always been that way. I've always been a little. I don't know the right word, but sometimes if I don't wash, this is going to sound really weird to everybody, okay? But sometimes if I touch something and I'm not able to wash my hands, I almost feel it on me until I get that soap and water. I know that sounds really bizarre, but I don't know. But I've always been very aware of my environment, and I've been flying almost weekly for the past 9 years, and I always wipe down the tray tables. I've talked about this, my armrests, and I just do this. Back in the day, the flight attendants would always kind of smile knowingly, nod their heads, or say, "Yeah, I do the same thing," because they know the garbage that goes on in those planes. So this is not a big change for me. For a lot of people, this is really a big change. Anyways, you look more like a lover than a fighter. Well, I'm a lover of life, Tim, I'll tell you that. California doesn't care about Tennessee. Well, that's probably true. I just use Tennessee as an example. Just filled it out online. Wait to see what happens. I did, and just wait. Ephraim, that's all you can do is wait until what happens. I hope more information is going to come pouring out, and I hope it doesn't take too long because some drivers need that money. I'm in a good place. I don't really need it, but a lot of drivers do. And we, between the stimulus check and any unemployment, might get us through this crisis. I think it's shameful drivers are even collecting for unemployment since none of us contributed to it. Sean, we should not be contributing. Well, in a way we do, but it's really the employer that contributes, and Uber and Lyft have not contributed. So this is a crisis. I know that a lot of people, and I've heard this from other people, drivers, by nature of the fact they're drivers, are kind of proud people. You're out working, you're independent, and I know a lot of people don't feel right collecting money. Remember, any money you get from the government is your money. This is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, right? So it's the people's money. And in emergency situations, it's not unethical, immoral, or fattening to use some of that money to stimulate the economy. And that's what it's really going to do. It's going to keep us from going deeper into recession. Get that money and spend it, by the way. Don't get that money and put it in the bank. Spend it. That's why you're getting it. So the bag, Dustin, I told you I dropped $100 at my liquor store. And that's my way of coping. That's how I'm going to get through these coming weeks. It was an empty bag. I popped it at the beginning of the show. Too many roundabouts. Amen. I hate roundabouts. Roundabouts are good in the right place. Unfortunately, and I think a lot of this happened during the Obama administration that talked about another stimulus package. They were, giving money and they were encouraging you to put in roundabouts because they did tests and they said it saves money because you're not stopping as much. But I think you got to be careful where you put them and how you put them. Especially the roundabouts with two lanes confuses people. And, people cut each other off. And I'm not a big fan of roundabouts. I think they have their place. If you have these things where it's a real busy street one way, and then you have a smaller intersection the other way, the people coming from the least traffic never get in because it's a constant flow. And that's where I think it's kind of rough. Okay, don't apply yet. I don't know, Dustin. I say apply as quickly as you can. Not everyone can apply. I can't because my teaching job will not allow me. Well, you're right. If you have money coming in, you can't apply for unemployment. You may have seen me, Tim. All right, I'm driving my red Toyota. We might turn into OCD addict, unfortunately. Well, if you live in Waukesha, you're not too far from where I am. You know that. Hello, Larry J. Sean. Cameron. Driving this period, I can truly tell you customers so appreciate it. Now, I want to ask you something. What I've been noticing, however, I know I keep saying I'm going to tell you stuff, so I got to just start telling it. I'll get back to the comments. One of the things I want to say, where is the most disease? I shouldn't say disease, germs. I did a video on my other channel, the germiest things in Walt Disney World. It was a really fun one. When you get off here, I want everyone to go over there, Average Me channel. It's a fun video. Anyway, what's the germiest thing we carry? And I asked, was that here? I may even ask it here. And what I was getting at was our cell phones are the germiest thing. This is not a cell phone, by the way. This is my sound effects generator. Okay. So the germiest thing we carry is probably our cell phone. But then someone said, money. I thought, of course, money is probably really germy, which makes me wonder, what do you guys, and I'm just going to shut up now for 30 seconds and let you answer. What do you feel now about taking cash tips? Nobody washes their money. I want to hear your thoughts, okay? So, what do you think about money? Are you concerned about cash tips now? Give it to me, says Ziggy. Yeah. Because I found an interesting thing. I just laundered all my money. yeah, you and Jimmy McGill. Put the money in a jar so I can spray. Maybe, you should have. Someone should invent a tip jar that you put on your console that when you put it in, it's like sprayed with that, is it an ultraviolet light that's supposed to kill all the disease? And as it goes through, that ultraviolet light turns. But besides that, it would be a pretty cool light show, wouldn't it? So I noticed two things. Some people are asking, I know Uber has suggested this, but some people are actually asking to leave their food, on the front porch. I never experienced that before. That was my biggest shock getting out today and doing Uber Eats delivery. I like going up and meeting people because that's how I get the filthy lucre, right? But now having filthy lucre is not a good thing. California, they don't say you have to work full-time to get benefits, so I didn't wait and apply for unemployment. Plus, California, you get paid the first week you stop work. That's why California's going broke. Payment says I wasn't until you asked. It's a great deal. I had disinfected my cash after I put it in my armrest. Otherwise, I'm employed. Do I get money from quitting? You're asking the wrong guy. All I am going to say is, if it were me, apply. Because all they can do is deny you. Apply. Normally I wouldn't say that. But this is a crisis situation, Possibly we're going to be done with bills and use our phones to pay for things. Computer gun scans it and comes out of your... Well, we've been saying that for years. I remember when I was a little kid, they were telling us, one day we'll never have money. We're getting kind of close to that. I like money. And the reason where I think it'll be real hard to get away from is the underground economy. Of course, someone's going to figure that out too, right? But there's a lot of underground economy. People want cash because they have transactions where, under the table things. People want to do jobs on the side and not have to pay taxes on it. Then there's illicit type of work, right? So, has anyone ever given you a tip via Cash App or Venmo? I never have. I either get my tips in the app or people give me just tips. I've never gotten a weird one like that. All right. Now I want to tell you about a second email I've had. All right. And this one was really interesting as well. Now, I cannot attest to the validity of this, but I'll bet I won't even find it here. But the upshot was this, that if you're going to apply for unemployment, it means you are declaring yourself to be employed. Now, I don't know if all this is true. This person has sent me this, and I thought, that's an interesting thought. And the last thing they said was, make sure you talk to your accountant. And I'm going to agree with him. And what he said was, once you apply for unemployment, you're declaring yourself to be employed, which means if you have been listing yourself as self-employed, you've been taking deductions, you've been claiming your mileage, your car, all of that, you can't have it both ways. Either you're self-employed and you take all the deductions, or you're employed and then, you may or may not be able to take those deductions. However, if you now filed as an employee or as self-employed and took all self-employed deductions, and now you say I'm employed and I want unemployment insurance, someone might take a microscope to your past tax returns. So just be aware of that. I'm not a tax professional. I don't even play one on TV. But I thought that was pretty insightful. Why? Because I have the smartest viewers on YouTube. I drive with a bottle of alcohol. How about that? So do I. Oh, you mean to wipe things down, right? Alcohol and spray your hands. Okay, I'm worried about filing for unemployment in California, still working for Postmates part-time. Well, you won't get punished. Don't worry about getting punished just for filing. All they'll do is deny it. And if later on they might say, hey, give us that money back. Well, by then you might be in a better place to give the money back. But you're not going to get fined or thrown in jail or anything like that, because this is a weird situation. They're giving us unemployment in a weird way. So I would say do it. If you need cash, call JJ Wentworth. Yeah, but doesn't JJ Wentworth just take your cash settlement and buy it from you instead of that? They don't just give you money. I know you knew that. It was a joke. California question they asked, I think you have to work at least 18 months to benefit. IRS is going away. I sure hope so. It's a good thing I've been doing Uber for a while. Then if I was Uber driver for less than 18 months, I'm screwed, I guess. I don't know, Andrew. Don't listen to everybody else. Do what you know is right, research it, and or just apply and let them deny you. That's all that can happen. Oh, Ziggy, flat tax. Those are my two favorite words. I think that is the most fair way that they can tax people is flat tax. I honestly do. You get rid of the loopholes and you know what your tax is going to be. And it was so simple. Every single person had said, and I think it was way back to Bill Clinton, you should be able to fill out your tax forms on a postcard. I agree with it. But no, who said it? It was, what's his name? Forbes. Remember Forbes was going to run for president for a while? That guy looks so goofy. I don't think anybody would have voted for him. But yeah, he had that tax idea. I think that was brilliant. Come on, Mark, two favorite words? No, oh, come on. Benjamin Franklin said there's only two guarantees, death and taxes. You're never going to. They've been taxing ever since, Jesus tried to get it in Nazareth. Flat tax is most fair, but is most fair the best for society? Yeah, ultimately, I think it is. I think it is ultimately. Because in a flat tax, there's going to be people at poverty level, $20,000 and below or whatever, that will never pay any tax, which is going to be fair. And people in the millions of dollars, when you have the flat tax, there's going to no longer loopholes and things. So I think everyone would pay a fair share. I think it would just be hard to sneak around. Right now, someone criticized President Trump and said, well, you only paid so many taxes. Actually, and when they made that, I remember when Rachel Maddow showed his taxes, he paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, but I digress. But he said, well, if this is legal, that's an accountant's job, is to find every avenue possible to reduce taxes. And as long as it's legal, what are you going to do? You're going to voluntarily pay more taxes? No, nobody's going to voluntarily pay more taxes. So that's why I think a flat tax would just be great. But that's not what we're here to talk about, is it? Figure out what you believe and join the party that most closely fit. We're not talking about politics here. That's why you notice in the last 4 minutes I talked about both President Clinton and President Trump. So see, I said two good things about two good people. I don't even know if I was saying anything good about President Trump. I just said he paid his taxes, which everybody does. All right, my friends, tell me $1,200 stimulus checks are a joke. It's like, well, crinkle cut. Do you want to not get it? I don't know. I can't say it's a joke. $1,200 is the trouble is, our people need to plan before the crisis comes. And I think Cecily even said that in our live stream. People, they're I don't know. They don't have a budget, and then suddenly they're shocked. How am I going to pay my rent this week? Didn't you plan? Didn't you plan to at least be able to pay a month or two rent? The whole idea is to keep the economy going. That's what the whole idea of a stimulus check is. That's stimulus. Stimulus means to stimulate the economy. They didn't have an income tax till the 20th century. You are exactly correct about that. Checks for stimulus. They're enhanced unemployment benefits. You're correct about that too. Refill the cup. Yeah, my cup's almost empty. My cup is not runneth over. Runnething over? Running over. Illinois full-time mover driver filed for unemployment yesterday. Hope it works. Did you have to have the EIN, the employment identification number? That's what Trader Ben said in Michigan. He said, I got there, I didn't know what to do. Everyone does not pay. See Amazon. Well, I know everyone doesn't pay. There's loopholes. And on the other hand, like they have TIF districts and everything else, I'm torn on this one. Because on one hand, I think it's really good. So a company doesn't pay a lot of taxes. But as a result, they're employing a lot of people. And as a result, we're getting paychecks and we're putting food on the table and we're going and spending money with the local grocer and movie theaters and all that. And it keeps an economy going. So it's not like taxes aren't getting paid. They're just not getting paid by the company. A company is not a person. So whether a company pays taxes or not, I don't know. I'm kind of split on that one. I would almost rather that the company have the money to employ people, because that's most of us that are watching now. That's what we want. We want jobs that pay us, right? Oh, great how-to videos. Worked 19 months, just filled out the app online 10 minutes ago. We'll see, or 10 days ago. See what happens. Question about rideshare, it has to be at least 18 months. Feds are going to give everyone who collects unemployment because of this $2,400 a month. I thought it was $1,224. A couple gets 24. I don't know. I'm not an expert at this. Don't take your financial advice from a YouTuber that talks about rideshare. But as a $600 a month, a solid thing with unemployment, you have to be a full-time driver to get that. Part-time gets less. I want to see complete details. So do I. I didn't apply for it, so I don't have the answer. But we're hearing some of the things here. People are telling us when they fill it out. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this, to get your answers. And they're saying they had to have 18 months in. Illinois had no place for the employment identification number. Interesting. With all the stimulus, extra unemployment money, everyone's staying home, we can expect mega inflation. Something's going to happen. They're already trying to fix a mistake of $600 plus above state unemployment, so I don't think drivers will get as much as they think. Takes about two weeks in Illinois, but hopefully they'll get it to you. The stimulus checks, and then there is unhand. Yeah, I know that, Jay. The stimulus checks and the employment and the unemployment are not the same thing. I get that. Or maybe you're just clarifying it for the viewers. Okay. Whoa. Oh, you. It may have changed. You know, it might change tomorrow, and it might change Tuesday and Wednesday because they're figuring this thing out as it goes. This is something the likes of which our modern times we've not experienced. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. All right, let's move on from the unemployment thing. I think we've beat this horse to death already. What are you doing? What are you doing to fill your time now? I know we're not driving unless we're that guy in California or down in Chicago. We're not driving 14 hours a day. I don't even know if that much business is out there anymore to warrant it. What are you doing with your time? Have you watched all 328 videos on my channel yet? And another 300 on the Average Me channel? Have you done that? Instacart, but Lisa, Instacart's, are you going to be part of that strike? Instacart's going to strike tomorrow. What do you think is going to happen? They say Instacart is already responding to that, and they're providing, more cleaning materials and stuff. But I don't know. So you're not going to be part of the strike. Okay. Disaster will teach me to always have an extra 4K. Now, Crinkle Cut, you're making a good point there too. I think there's going to be a lot of learning going on here. You're saying I'm going to learn to have at least $4,000 in my account, try to build that up. Some people might learn, I'll live fast and free, fancy free, because the government will always be there to bail me out. There's two ways to look at it. But I think that people are going to learn for the better, I believe. So what are we doing? We're studying new things, being occupied with me, Dustin, Sensei, he who will go unnamed, and ham YouTubers. Am I a ham YouTuber? Great job. Hothead loves you. Headed back from Panama City. Who is Hothead? Are you Hothead, Donnie? I was told the other day by someone who will go unnamed that what was, I was angry. I used to be angry, and I'm more pleasant. I was never angry, was I? Was I angry? Was that the right word that was used? I'll have to go back to that comment. All right, let's try another one of these. Mark, I deserve that money. I work hard 50 hours a week and sometimes more. Okay, I just said that like a whiner because I had the violin. That's not whiny. You're right. If you work, you deserve the money. I agree wholeheartedly. That's why the money's there. We work hard for it. We pay our taxes. When the going gets tough, that's our money. That's our money. Sorry, by company February 27th was laid off Tuesday. Ah, MH, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hey, Dan. Where is your home market, Donnie? Mark has never been angry in videos. Panama City Beach. How can you do an Uber? How soon can an Uber driver apply for unemployment? Somebody that's out there, share your experience, because I didn't do it. I know people are applying right now. Where are you applying? Is there a website or something someone could just shoot out there right now so we can share with those people that are questioning? Time to create Angry Uber Driver channel. Hey, did anybody see my new banner? Did anyone notice that? Did it come up? It might still go back to the old one if you have that. If it's cached in your cache. So I don't know. Did anyone see it? I just put up a new banner on my YouTube channel today. Sounded like the Godfather. Oh, when they're asking for money. Da 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 da. Da, da, da. You don't talk about the Godfather, because that's one of my favorite films. I'll tell you. Vito Lupo sleeps with the fishes. I love the Godfather. The world's smart. It's my sound effects machine. Then we have our trumpet fanfare. Then we have when 20 people get out of one Uber car. Then it's when Mark tells a bad joke. How about a rim shot? There's a rim shot here. All right. I'm in Ohio, but I can see the new system not yet. 55 hours this week. Uber Eats made $1,300 in Grand Rapids. Oh man, awesome. Good for you, Darren. That's the way to do it. Keep kicking it. Keep showing that you can make some money during this crisis. I love it. I'm studying how to start a business while not working. What else are you doing when you're not working? Mark, you were saying you worked the circus before. I ate fire. Oh, you watched that video, huh? See what people miss when they don't go to the Average Me channel? Yeah, I showed the fire eating over there on that channel. And I talked about my circus days. You betcha. My favorite scene from The Godfather is when Michael ordered his own brother killed. Well, that was Godfather 2. That was showing that Michael was really going psycho. You know, Vito never would have done that. For Vito, it was family. Everything was about family. Michael, oh, he got power hungry in a hurry, didn't he? How is that Instacart gig workers don't know their contractors? You want hand sanitizer? Go buy some. Oh, wait, Instacart drivers are scheduled. MH, I think you're being sarcastic, but that's the thing. And that's why I hate to say it, but I do agree with Dastardly Dara on that one point. I think there probably is room for a third category. Because we really, gig workers really are not employees and not really self-employed. We're kind of floating around in the middle, aren't we? Your two old sisters you're afraid of. Michael, I'm smart. I'm not dumb like people say I am. I'm smart. Is that what you say to your two sisters? All right. You want me to get one to say, come on, man. Okay, I'll do the rest of them. When something bad happens on my channel, of course, you don't hear that one very often because this is a great channel. And this is the last one. See, that kind of, you know, Dara Khosrowshahi can go between those two. He can be either, or he can be. I'll tell you, this is the best $8 I ever spent. Got into trouble with IC with the IRS some years ago. Agent actually said, you're a 1099 employee. From Georgia Department of Labor, we understand that federal lawmakers have passed a COVID-19 stimulus bill that will expand unemployment insurance benefits. Once the department is provided with instructions on how to obtain them, we'll make an announcement. I suspect that's what's going to happen a lot. I suspect that's why we don't have a lot of information now, and I know that's why I don't have information. Number one, I am not prepared to study 50 states or 52 if, you know, you're President Obama. And it's a joke. And he did say there were 52 states, though. And the District of Columbia. I just can't stay that up to date with it. So what I'm going to do is the best I can to give you general information here. Books, music, movie, video games, great practice for retirement. Can't wait until I'm 62. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 62? No, that's not right. You can't. That's the first time I ever heard someone say, I can't wait until I'm old. Oh my God. You should still work in the circus. You don't know Uber is a circus, man. Come on, man. Didn't they consider doing Godfather 4 with Andy Garcia as the new Don? He already was at the end of part 3. Could have been a bad. Well, part 3 was a terrible movie. Terrible movie. There are actually 56 states and territories, so he was close. That's not close. He was closer to 50 states. All right. So we're getting silly now. Now it's getting giddy. We're into our 40-minute mark. I thought this was going to be just a short one, but I really want to just see how you're handling the hurdles that are going to come with this unemployment. Do you notice all of a sudden the channel's picking up steam again? We have 32 people in the room right now. Everybody give a thumbs up right now. I only have 11 thumbs up. Now I got 12 because I just gave myself one. So I just thumbed myself. So go ahead and thumb me, everybody, if you would be so kind. I've been trying to hang this up somewhere on my set. Anybody know what this is? First answer gets a prize. Your prize is going to be my stickers. All right. Everybody, you guys doing Eats and DoorDash? Are you feeling safe? I felt perfectly safe. I just got on, so I missed your info. It wasn't really so much info, John. It was more discussion, putting some things out there, sharing problems and issues that people are running into filing for this unemployment. And I imagine we're going to be hearing a lot of this over the next couple of weeks. So I might do a lot of short, remember my quick vids that I started doing, and I hadn't done those in quite a while. I might be doing a lot more of those just as I get information. I love the lack of drama on the channel. I don't thumbs up because I don't want to overfill my like folder. Okay, I understand. I'm losing money now for sure until the stimulus check comes and the unemployment, $600 a week. I think that's very generous. Hey, but I'll take it. We got to take what we can, Vanessa. Be glad that we do live in the U.S. where we can, get on top of these things. I have to say, for all the bickering, and I do believe, and I'm not going to talk about why, I do believe that there's a lot of political stuff going on that I don't like seeing when it's a health crisis like this. But I do applaud the Senate and Congress and the president for acting pretty quickly on this. The news media is eating it up. Well, that's the problem, Donnie. The news media, rather than reporting news now, they're turning it into an event. How do you fill 24 hours of news? You just hype it up and add drama to it. And I don't like that. Thank you, John. The government takes you from you, so take what you can from them. Government's supposed to be us, and that's the problem. Postmates has been rocking it, taking place of dead Uber for zero. I've never done any of those. I should start doing it. I should sign up for some of those others and see what's going on. I had a goal to make $2,000 a month with Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and I'm making zero now because I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. It takes an act of God or disaster for Congress and the Senate to work together. Well, it does say a lot, but in a way that's good. We need good, healthy discussion. The problem is, right now we're going through a time in history. It's not good, healthy discussion. It's undermining and it's berating. And, I didn't want to get into it. I long for the days of Ronald Reagan, for example. When, I know a lot of you don't remember that, but Tip O'Neill was a Speaker of the House and Ronald Reagan was the president. And those guys will go at it tooth and nail. But then you would see them socially and casually, and they were laughing and joking, and they knew how to set aside the politics and be people. And we don't see that now. And it's sad that we don't see it. I think it's good that there are two or more sides, because that way you hear both sides of the argument. You see? Uber wants to take 25 total for $6. What a joke. What's the theme for 2020? My Wave by Frank Sinatra. Oh, don't be too depressing. Oh, Blue Eyes is my favorite, by the way. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you watch the news, you're misinformed. I love that. That's a good saying. I watch very little of it. I do my research online. I pull from different sources. I make jokes about a lot of the sources I know, but I pull from a lot of sources. I don't watch very much television news. Did two Postmates hated it? Think DoorDash tips usually suck. You don't know where the thumbs have been. Terry Moore, my goodness. Terry Moore used to be a beautiful actress back in the 50s. You don't look like a beautiful actress based on your little icon here. Nature is like pruning the tree of life to heal the polluted planet. Well, that's an interesting take because there's a lot of things that we do and we say we're going to save this, you know, and and one thing leads to another. We don't want forest fires, but no way, forest fires are nature's way of cleaning itself up, right? And getting rid of the dead wood and starting new fresh soil for the seedlings to grow and all that. And I think when by people try to micromanage that, we usually end up causing more problems than we fix. Let nature take care of itself. You know, I always think that our solutions are weird too. Let's not have drinking straw. How about if we just don't throw the drinking straws in the ocean? Maybe that'd be a better solution. Recycle the drinking. I like drinking straws. I like using them. Um, but I'm not going to throw it. I don't want it to get in Flipper's blowhole. Flipper has enough problems. I think it's great that, by the way, I'm just commenting here by MH's comment, Sinatra by far. I actually saw Frank Sinatra in concert. True. It's true. I just think it's great that this late we're still listening to people like Sinatra and even, Elvis. And I mean, Paul McCartney's still around, but even when you think about the Beatles are 50, 60 years old now, their music. I think music is wonderful that it sticks around for such a long time and people always appreciate it, I applied for $10,000 grant. There's only 50 million applicants. Well, then you should see approval soon. How does a straw from Denville, Colorado end up in the ocean? I don't know. Are you in Denver? Denver's a nice place. I like Denver. We have something in common, Milwaukee and Denver, right? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? See if you can guess. I'm going to run out. I'm going to have to go up and get me some more Smirnoffs. No cars on the road, at least not many. I have seen LA. I've never seen LA skyline so blue. The earth is healing. It doesn't take long, does it? It doesn't take long. So yeah, it's weird. It's kind of eerie out there, isn't it? When there's not so many people out, except me. I'm still out. Old Carson joke. What happens when the smog clears over Los Angeles? UCLA. Actually, wasn't that a Karnak joke, right? Where he would rip it open. No, he would start with this. UCLA. And he'd pull it out. What happens when the smog clears in Los Angeles? That was what he did, right? He would always lead with the prediction when he was Karnak. Oh, boy, am I aging myself, huh? That's a good joke, though. That's good that you remember that one. I remember a lot of those. Lovers leap. And then Ed would always repeat it. Lovers leap. And Johnny would give him that look. Remember that one? The distance between twin beds. Lovers leap. You are right, MH, the beer. Miller Coors Brewery. They merged, right? Why did Packers let Mike McCarthy go? Never understood that. I don't know. They got a pretty good coach now, I think. When I was 13 in 2009, I bought the Beatles remastered box sets of the albums, and the musical floodgates overflowed more than the tale of Noah's Ark. Wow. That's some colorful language there. Showstopper, my friend, welcome. This is a fun discussion, but we're almost, we're getting close to an hour. We're at 48 minutes already. Unbelievable. I just can't believe this. When I get down here, I start talking to you guys. This is so much fun. Well, okay, the comment was we got more weed though in Colorado. Yeah, that's not my thing. Never was. Never will be, I don't imagine. I want doctors, scientists, and people that know what they're talking about. Educated people, not news media. Can we please have our sports back? I'm going through withdrawal. I've never been much of a sports fan, to be honest with you. I know I wear my Packers gear and stuff, but, I'm a fair weather fan. I always figure, what difference, the guy I'm rooting for, this week, next week might be playing for a different team and I'm rooting against them. So what are you really rooting for? A logo? It's kind of weird when you think about it. And besides, I don't like it that the NBA gets all the tests for virus. When if they're not showing signs of it and stuff, why are they testing people? What about the the old vulnerable people that really need those tests that maybe they can take care of them and catch it early? A healthy, vibrant 28-year-old NBA player, if they get it, they're probably not dying. All right, Go Bears. Who are they? Sure, must be amateur team. Terrible now. If you like NASCAR, a virtual thing was pretty cool to watch. I was going downtown to get some weed, and then I stopped for some ammo. Well, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that gun sales are going up, huh? Under all this, I don't know. So, what else? Now, at least we found out what you guys are doing. You're learning and you're watching, and we got 33 people in here. I want all 33 of you to head over to the Average Me channel. There's really some fun stuff over there. Short videos. Most of the videos are under 10 minutes, around 10 minutes. I visit interesting places, see interesting things. I find your jersey highly offensive. You look better in an Eagles jersey. The Eagles only did one good thing, and that was release Reggie White to the Packers. When this whole pandemic is over, the economy will be back booming. Well, Andrew, the economy, there's nothing holding it back. As soon as people go to work, there's no reason it shouldn't. But I'll tell you what, politics are at work, because one party wants to take over the White House. So, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Well, both parties want the White House. One party already has it. So, and I'm afraid they're going to play this for political reasons, but we'll see. Call band from the 70s are all 70 years old. They run away with each other in the boxing ring. Mark eats fire. Ari, that is true. I do a lot of things you're unaware of. If you could see what's in front of me, you guys would be in disbelief. My studio is actually in my storage room, and there's some weird, wild stuff in here. Maybe I'll show it to you. When you get to travel again, you're going to need to send us a lot of stuff to make up for our subscription fees. Well, I think I sent out the March postcards earlier in the month, so I'm up to speed with the monthly postcards. I'll probably be doing some videos, some more videos for the Patreon people. This is my studio. This is as much of it as you ever have to see. Have you guys noticed? Anyone noticed that right there? I know you can't see because it's a glare, but that is the Gemini Giant, and that is a Gemini Giant. That's a sticker of that guy right there. And that is in Wilmette, Illinois, near the start of Route 66. It's one of the Muffler Men. And that is a pink elephant, and I know there's several pink elephants. One of them is in Dane, Wisconsin, and this one is right at the end of Route 66 when it's leaving. I shouldn't say at the end of Route 66, but when it's the end of it in Illinois, as you're going into St. Louis. The Pink Elephant Antique Mall. That's why I have two pink. Everything I have here tells a story. It's from something I visited. Can I eat fire? You're really caught up in the fire eating today, aren't you? Yeah, my most fun fire eating was when I did it on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and that's what you saw on the other channel. Ari, you can get postcards. They go to my Patreon sponsors. Have you seen videos of Biden and his speech problems? Yeah, Vanessa, I said that in the other video. It's always fun, because I was making jokes about President Obama earlier, saying 52 states. And everybody, if you talk enough, you're going to make mistakes. And I try not to come down too hard on people. However, with Biden, it worries me a little bit because I'm not sure that he's processing well. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. Mistakes are fun until they become serious. At this point, I still think they're mistakes. I'm not too concerned. If he steps in the White House, I don't think he's gonna, blow anything up. He eats glass, not fire. Wait, stop, Ari. What am I waiting and stopping for? Do the postcards have local postmarks? Okay, the postmarks. Whenever possible, I mail them from the locations. It's not always possible because sometimes I'm on the road and I'm zipping through and I might mail them later. Whenever possible, I try to mail them so they get postcards from the postmark from the place where they're mailed. Um, I have I have mailed postcards from, for example, in the Magic Kingdom. I've mailed my Patreon sponsors, you know, Mickey Mouse postcards, and they actually get a Walt Disney World postmark. And I try to do that, but I'm not always able to. Look at that. I drank a whole bottle of this today. I know that's not even funny. That's really a lame joke. I don't know what strikes me as being funny. I grew up in Wilmette. Oh, you grew up in Wilmette and you don't know the Gemini Giant at the launching pad? Right on Route 66. You can't miss it. The guy's 32 feet tall. Okay. Hello, everybody. DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart are very good in my state of Connecticut. I'm making money. Antonio, thank you for sharing that with us. I love to hear those success stories. That's really wonderful. So see what I'm hearing. People are signing up for multiple platforms, and that's how they're making a go of it. There is at least 2 muffler men I know of in Chicago. I don't know the streets right off the top of my head. Is that Edgar Allan Poe? No, you know who that is back there? That's Tesla. That's Nikola Tesla. Or Nikola Tesla. I'm not sure how they pronounce the name. I always call him Nikolai Tesla. Yeah, that's Tesla. You don't know the Gemini Giant, huh? It's Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine if, I don't know. I'd be fine if Cook County kind of slipped into Lake Michigan and was forgotten. You know, in 2,000 years from now, they talk about it like it was the lost city of Atlantis. That wouldn't bother me too much. What do you think about Oliver Stone films? I don't like films that convey political messages that have political slants. I think that his stuff is a little too preachy for me. I go to films because I like to just enjoy myself. Someone asked about Oliver Stone. Chicago's most architecturally beautiful downtown of a major city. Go boat tour of the Chicago River. Let's see the other half of the studio. You're not going to let me go now on that one, are you? No, you don't want to see it right now. Actually, right in front of me, I'll show you how glamorous this is. Right in front of me down there is a cat litter, the commode. No, Ari, not you. You can come up to Wisconsin. We always welcome good people up here. Ari asked me if I wanted him submerged in water. All right. I think we're gonna 2 minutes, and we're gonna call this one done. Okay, and that'll bring us to the hour mark. So I'll still jibber jabber with you for another 2 minutes. Besides, I'm out of beverage. What else can I show you that I got around here? I got my camera. This is the camera I use. A G7X Mark II. I've had 2 of them now. And over here I have my other camera. I didn't have it out. This is my sports cam that I use. If you ever wondered what stuff do I use, and then this. Remember, this is the dual dash, the Blue Sky C dash camera that I did the review on. I might do a follow-up review to that because that's a good camera. I like it. Wisconsin. I want to try the cheese there. It's the one thing that state is known for. That's one thing. And did you ever hear of a little company called Harley Davidson? We're known for that. And Miller Coors Brewery, we're known for that. And there's some famous people that came out of here. Gene Wilder and Frank Lloyd Wright, famous architect, was Wisconsinite. And Wisconsin has some good things going for it. Beautiful lakes and forests. And since you're asking, Vanessa. Kokomo, Kadana, are you talking about Indiana? I'm not sure what we're going with there. All right. So, and Ed Gein, yes, Jeff Dahmer. I guess if you want to go there too. All right, 59 minutes and 32 seconds, everybody. We're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. Stanley Kubrick, A Clockwork Orange. You like that? 2001 Space Odyssey. All right. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your Sunday evening with me. I just had a ball. I was laughing almost the whole time. Thanks for, I think we need to have this little levity and enjoyment in our life and not always be, down and worried and, clenching our fists over all. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. We're going to make it through this. Go out and make some happy dollars. We'll visit frequently through this and let's enjoy ourselves. Okay. So thanks again, everybody, for sharing your Sunday with me. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. Haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. I'm Mark, and this is Mark's Travel Time. So long, everyone.